Seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engines full power and ignition. Lift off of Falcon 9. Go Hotbird, go Falcon. Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Pad 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, carrying the Eutelsat Hotbird 13F satellite. During ascent, the M1D engines will actually swivel and help steer Falcon 9. This is known as gimbal. The rocket autonomously tilts the engines just a few degrees, and this gimbling allows the vehicle to perform a gravity turn, which is when we go vertical as well as horizontal. So we're still going up, but now we're also heading horizontally away from the launch pad.
Max Q.
And there we heard the call out for maximum aerodynamic pressure. So now we'll throttle those 9 M1D engines back up. In about a minute, we'll have 3 events occurring in quick succession. The first will be main engine cutoff, or MECO, as it's seen there on the timeline at the bottom of your screen. MECO will be followed immediately by stage separation, which, as the name indicates, the first stage and second stage will separate. And then the second engine, that Merlin vacuum engine, will ignite for SES 1, or second engine start 1. Everything continues to look nominal for the first stage. It's a great view of the M1D exhaust plume. Standing by for main engine cutoff.
Eco. Stage separation confirmed.
And there you can see that MVAC has ignited, that nozzle turning orange and white. Those three events happening rapidly. The first stage there on the left-hand side of your screen and the right-hand side for the second stage.
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
Next major event is fairing separation, occurring in about 10 seconds. We can see the Space Coast in the distance background of the left-hand side of the screen.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there's our first look at the Eutelsat Hotbird 13F payload. Now, those fairing halves that we just separated, we will be attempting to retrieve them again once they fall back to planet Earth. We'll be using our recovery ship Doug to do so.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
We're at T+4 minutes into tonight's mission, and we're currently in the first of two planned MVAC burns prior to satellite deployment. The next event, first stage entry burn, will occur at about T+6.5 minutes, and you should be able to see it on your screen. For that entry burn, we'll relight 3 M1D engines, starting with the center one, engine 9, followed shortly thereafter by E1 and E5, which are 2 of the 8 radial engines. That burn is the first of 2 planned burns, and will slow the vehicle down as it passes back into the Earth's atmosphere. Now, stage 1 has to slow down to reduce re-entry forces, which helps us to recover and reuse it. Now, during that entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing those Merlin engines, as I mentioned, but it's still moving rapidly. This causes the vehicle to fly through Merlin's exhaust gases, also called the rocket's plume. As such, a thin layer of soot from Falcon 9's carbon-based fuel, kerosene, is deposited on the exterior vehicle surface.
Both vehicles continue to follow nominal trajectories.
Now, for those that might not be familiar with why we land our rockets, reusability is key to lowering the cost of spaceflight, which enables more investments in critical scientific research. The Falcon 9 first stage that's supporting today's mission will perform this entry burn for the 3rd time. As I mentioned earlier, it previously supported a Starlink mission as well as a cargo resupply mission to the International Space Station, CRS-24.